This is a Chucky Beat production.
This is Rahul, welcome to Gadget Freaks, and today I'm gonna give you my full review about the Nokia 6.1, that's Nokia 2018 edition. And yeah, I'm sweating because the fan is off and the audio is very important. So I've been using this phone for about 2 months right now, and I know about the every prospect of this phone, so that will be a lot easier for me to give you the final and perfect review of this phone. And I'm just gonna review this phone from an entry-level phone perspective because I was just using a Samsung Galaxy Z7 Prime, which is just a basic and old phone, so it's pretty new hardware for me. So let's get started. So as you can see, there's a Nokia 6.1 and it's a pretty good phone. So let's talk about the overview, and there is no unboxing, so I'm just gonna give you a normal overview, and I'm just shooting this video on a pretty old Coolpix camera from Nikon, which even doesn't have a autofocus. Yeah, that's true. So on the front we have a 5.5 inch full HD display. It's normal LCD panel, nothing special like AMOLED kind of stuff. On the back we have a 16 megapixel rear facing camera, Zeiss optics, which sucks. So I'm gonna give you my verdict about the camera in the later part on the below, which has a fingerprint scanner. And this is a Nokia branding, the Android One branding, and what is Android I'm gonna explain to you later on. On the top we have a headphone jack, happily saying that Nokia hasn't removed it yet, and on the bottom we have the USB Type-C, and it supports fast charging. On the left we just have, on the right we just have the volume rocker at the power button, and on the left we have the SIM tray. I'm just using this cover because it has a matte finish, and I'm pretty much paranoid about my phone, so case is always better. So let's talk of the internal. Under the hood, it is powered by a Snapdragon 630 processor. Adreno 508 is handling the GPU duty. It has 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage. Basically it has two variants. One is 3 gigs of RAM with 64 gigs of internal storage, and another is 4 gigs of RAM with 64 gigs of internal storage. The 3GB RAM variant is pricing about a less, and it has two color variants, the white and the black one, and 4GB variant has only this blue color, which looks pretty good. So that's the whole thing, and let's talk about the camera at first because it's the main highlighting and most disappointing part. It has a 16 megapixel camera with Zeiss optics, and it has an 8 megapixel front camera. It has f2.0 aperture on the back, and the camera is same from the previous year's Nokia 6, which was a pretty weak phone for this price because Snapdragon 430, but this time it is a better processor. So I'm gonna talk about the person in the later part. This camera disappoints me in every point. In normal day-to-day light task, it just takes some good quality images, but the images comes really shaky according to me. I was using the Nokia camera, the stock camera app, and I felt that the images are a bit shaky, so I just downloaded the latest Gcam, and it has, the good thing is that it has the camera 2 API enabled previously, so that means you don't have to put some ADB comment or root your phone to get used to the Google camera. So Google camera is working pretty well on this phone. Slow mode doesn't work, other things work excellently. So that's a very good thing, and from the using of the Google camera with HDR enabled, it takes a pretty much good quality shots in daylight. That means you can get a very good quality images from Google camera. Of course it takes some time, but that's good. You can produce some time and get some very good images. But in the night light, HDR enhanced doesn't work, because if you turn on HDR at night, it will just give you some more grainy images. And even the Nokia camera, the stock Nokia camera, doesn't do extremely well in night light. So I will suggest you, if you are a night light photographer or want to photograph is a main priority, don't get this phone because its camera is pretty weak, and which is pretty surprising in this price range, about 19,000 rupees. Talking about pricing, this phone is priced about 17,000 rupees for the 3GB RAM variant and 19,000 rupees for the 4GB RAM variant. And there's a whole camera part. The front camera takes a pretty good selfie. It has a portrait mode inbuilt, and the most important thing is that the back camera has a pretty good much the pro mode, which works pretty well. And I have also taken some front camera portrait shots using the Google camera, and it just takes excellent shots. The edge detection is really good. I don't know why, just like the Pixel. I think I haven't used any Pixel devices, but this comes really close when you are taking a portrait shot. That's extremely good. So that's the whole about the camera stuff. The camera is pretty much average or over the average a bit. So let's talk about the processor. It has a Snapdragon 630 processor, which is a bit improved about the Snapdragon 625, the very popular mid-range processor. costing about 19,000 rupees. The 630 a bit disappointing, but from a tier 1 brand like Nokia we could expect this. So this camera, this processor is pretty good. Light DDD task works like charm. It just breezes out everything. When you're playing some extreme level games, it just works pretty well, but PUBG doesn't run well. In normal setting it just works extremely well. It doesn't have the HDR mode or kind of things enabled, but you can enable this kind of things by using some third-party apps, and I've tried also those, and it can run pretty well. But the main issue is that its battery. It has only a 3000 mAh battery, which drains extremely fast. I generally used to game for 2.5 hours PUBG mainly, and it just drained from 90 to 30% in the 2.5 hours. So that means when you are playing some heavy duty games like PUBG, the gaming experience is pretty good, but the battery life is devastating. So that means you have to, if you are a gamer, don't get this phone because it takes a hell lot of battery, and the battery is only 3000 mAh, so will not get a good result. Other than the gaming, the normal day-to-day task while using the phone, the battery life is pretty good. Pretty good. It just works extremely well, and the games runs pretty well. The Snapdragon 630 is a pretty good processor for this, and this doesn't have any kind of heating issue while you are using it normally. But while gaming, it may heat up quite a bit, and PUBG had some quite a bit frame drops while it was extremely overheating. So that's a whole much good thing. And what's next? Let's come out the software. This runs on the Android Oreo 8.0 out of the box. Even I got the phone while it was under 8.1. That's a pretty good thing. It gets a security patch on time every month, and right now it's a July patch because I think the Android Pie 9.0 is already here, so Nokia might push out the August security patch with the Android 9.0. As it's under the Android 9 program, Android 1 program, it will get every updates for almost 2 years with daily security patches. So that's a future-proof planning if you are getting this phone for some future uses. That's the whole thing, and the processor, the uses is just like any other Android 1 phone, and it has a hybrid SIM slot. That means you can take 2 SIMs or 1 SIM and micro SD card, but it has 64GB internal. So if you're not an extreme user, you don't need any kind of external storage. Let's come with the charging. It has a 3000 mAh battery. That means it will take a hell lot less of time to get it charged. Even this one has a fast charger bundle in the back which supports Qualcomm Quick Charging 3. That means it takes only half an hour to charge from 0 to 50, and about 1 hour and 30 minutes to 140 minutes to get fully charged. So that's extremely good stuff from Nokia. Even it has all the sensors and works extremely well. So this pricing is about 19,000. I've talked about it earlier, but if you are trying to get a Nokia phone or you are kind of nostalgic, this is a go for a phone for you. So that's it for now. Hope you like the video. Like, share, subscribe. Hope to see you in the next video. Signing off for now. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye now.